Hi, this is Daniel from the Ultimate Guitar Academy, and I'm going to show you how to play bar chords, more specifically the F bar chord. So on the guitar, a bar chord is simply a chord where we use one finger, usually the index finger, to hold down multiple strings. This sometimes will be all 6, other times it might just be 5, 4, 3, 2. It can't be 1 because that's not multiple strings. So I'm going to show you how to play bar chords, but I'm going to use the F bar chord to explain everything. Why the F bar chord? Well, it's usually the first bar chord learned. In fact, in my opinion, it should be the first bar chord learned. Before we learn the F chord shape, let's have a good look at how barring should work on the guitar. I mentioned that we use one finger to hold down lots of strings. This is always true. However, the thumb is what needs to change. Often in guitar playing, our thumb is up high. For example, here's a G chord, and my thumb is very, very high. You can see it sitting on the top of the guitar. When I change to a bar chord, my thumb actually lowers. Here you can see that my thumb is no longer sitting up high on the guitar, but actually has dropped. It's still pointing upwards like a thumbs up, but it's now about 50% of the way up the neck, no longer up the top. Definitely not down the bottom, roughly in the middle. So as you can see, thumb placement is extremely important. If my thumb is high, I can't get that index finger straight. Once my thumb lowers, you can see that my wrist here will drop. Aha, see that? Thumb high means wrist high. Thumb low means wrist low. Up and down, which gives me a straight index finger. Now it doesn't have to be dead straight, okay? But it can't be super crooked either. What we're looking for is a finger that will fit in one fret relatively straight. Once I have that in position, I simply squeeze those two together like so. A really good exercise is to go to first fret, squeeze really tight. If you need to, put your middle finger also on top of that index. So we have two fingers, not both touching the string, one on top of the other, squeezing down like this. That's our squeezing motion. Holding that string down, holding all strings in that fret down. Now don't just strum through, play one string at a time. It won't sound great, but the goal is to get clear strings. Apply that exercise to every single fret. Of course, if you have an acoustic guitar, you won't be able to go as high as someone with an electric guitar. One more important aspect about barring before I get into the chord is my elbow. When I play the bar chord, you'll notice my elbow is not sticking out, but sticking in. Here's an example. Another example. So my elbow should come inwards for a bar chord. So once I have that bar on the first fret, which I was talking about earlier, I want my middle finger to go to second fret on the G, and my next two fingers, which are my ring and pinky, go to third fret on the A and D strings like so. What we should have is basically a capo on first fret with our own finger, and then an E major chord in front of that. That is an F bar chord. What I've shown you today here can be applied to any other bar chord shape. Just remember that in front of the bar, the shape will change. The technique that we're applying to get the bar working should apply amongst all bar chords. Well, I hope that helped you with your bar chords. Please feel free to share this video amongst Facebook and your friends if you found it useful. You can also visit ultimateguitaracademy.com.au where you can reach us through our contact page. You'll also find some more lessons on there. If you have any difficulty learning bar chords, please feel free to email us. We'll be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, keep shredding.